Ávila. This video is Hello, my name is Gabriela Rúa and my partners are Valentina León and Xavier Ávila. This video is a presentation about the natural order hypothesis by Stephen Krashen. This presentation is divided into three parts. First of all, I'm going to present to you the concept of the natural order hypothesis. Then Valentina is going to present to you and explain to you an example of this hypothesis. And finally, Xavier, he is going to conclude this presentation with a reflection. So, Stephen Krashen, he is an expert in the field of linguistics, specializing in theories of language acquisition and development. Much of his recent research has involved the study of non-English and bilingual language acquisition. So, the natural order hypothesis is part of his theory of second language acquisition. This hypothesis states that we acquire the rules of language in a predictable order, and some rules tending to come early and others late. The order doesn't appear to be determined solely by formal simplicity, and there is evidence that it is independent of the order in which rules are taught in language classes. This process is assumed to be largely unconscious. So the natural order hypothesis applies to both first language acquisition and second language acquisition. But although similar, the order of acquisition often differs between first and second language. In other words, the order of acquisition of a first language is different from the order of acquisition of that same language as a second language.
Hello, my name is Valentina. In this time, I'm going to talk about the examples of this natural order hypothesis. But first, let's examine the things that we have understood before. First, this natural order hypothesis says that we are going to acquire some morphemes, some grammatic rules of a second language earlier than other things. We have a way of following this process of acquiring a new language. So we have to know which is this natural order that the student is going to apply in itself. Now, for a look at the examples, I think we have to look at the classification of this natural order, or let's say the variables of this natural order hypothesis. The first variable is the effect of exposure to a context that speaks the language that you're trying to acquire. This is going to be depending on the people in which you're surrounded, and obviously the interaction that you have with these people. This is going to help you to acquire things maybe faster than learning a new language in the traditional way. The other variable is the age differences. It is too important to look at the age of the student, because it's not the same teaching English to a guy that is 10 years old to a university student. It is completely different because of the social context of the person, because of the interest of learning this second language and acquire all the grammatical rules and all the vocabulary and the complete language itself. The other variable that I have to consider is the comprehensible input. We have to be conscious or be aware that for example, let's talk about beginners. Some beginners are not going to understand a B1 level speech. You have to use a vocabulary that they understand, and the same with a student that is in a high level. You have to use a challenge vocabulary to these students because you have to manage his level. Now, talking about some factual examples, in a study conducted by Heike Dulay and Marina Bort, they say that some morphemes are learned faster than others. For example, I, as a future teacher, I consider that we have to teach first present simple grammatics. In present simple grammatics, we have a thing to remain, that is the third person. In the third person, you're going to add an S to the verb that is conjugated. In this way, we have to teach first present simple, but generally students learn saying first ing from the present continuous, then the present simple S from the third person. And other example would be the fact that the students that learn English maybe can learn first the yes-no question than the WH question, even that we teach first the WH questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Xavier Ávila, and today I will share with you some conclusions and reflections about the natural method for a second language acquisition. We have to take into account the main aspect of all those methods, okay? And took the most important perception involved in all those processes. First of all, is really important to recognize the role of the teacher and students throughout the whole process of that method. A natural method for a second language acquisition could give us a perspective really positive and subjective for teaching and learning a foreign language. Correct. If we are in a setting where the students could feel much better in all those processes because the subjectivity of that method could give us more confidence and work in all those skills of an autonomous way without no pressure to broken down and have the main components in a part way. Okay, if we have the teacher's perspective, we can say that for them it's not common to find how all those processes work in order to be more assertive. Why? Because the natural method for a second language acquisition is really difficult to assess them. And not only that, we have the problem of the subjectivity and how some external factors can influence. Okay, so in order to be more coherent throughout the full process of the second language acquisitions throughout the natural method, we can say that teachers consider that it's not a good and efficient method for improve and teach a second language. But students, in contrast, students consider that for they could be much better because they don't have the pressure and they have an integral process of progressing and develop all those skills. So, in other words, teachers consider that it's not a practical way to teach foreign languages, but students consider that is a really good because they don't have the divisions on that structured part or a really complex structure for a foreign languages learning. So, in addition, we can say that that method is a method that could improve all your skills, but it's not practical in academic context of setting because it don't gives the answer for all the necessities that people can have. So that's all. Thank you so much.